All right, if you guys can take a moment, let me know when you have Audacity up. That way we can hit record and do the old clapboard treatment.
I've got it.
Ready?
Okay. I'm going to start recording now. We do a quick, wait a minute. Oh, God. I did a great save in my end right there. It's trying to record off of my headset.
Oh,
that would have been terrible.
Oh, you know
Can
what?
you imagine?
Let me double check too. You got me nervous now.
Yeah, everybody, like,
I
look
already
at
did. I'm on my Behringer.
Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to start the recording once again. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Looks good.
Yes.
A lot better than last time. I was worried. It's like, why is there a solid black line where there should be silence? Anyways, okay. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, clap, all right? So, 1, 2, 3, clap. Easy enough. Pretty solid.
All right, we're
Now
in
we can do
business now.
musicals in sync.
Yeah. Eat your heart out, actual in sync.
What, are you a Backstreet Boy kind of fan?
Oh, BSB all the way, baby.
Okay, fair enough.
Westlife.
I mean, during that time, I was actually into Britney Spears. For some reason, I was never into Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
But she checked herself in one too many times. I kind of split off. All right, so we got. Oh, I just want to clarify something here, Glenn. You know you're hosting this episode, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
Right.
Totally.
Right.
Got it.
You got this.
I forgot about that.
You know what you deserve, Glenn? A promotion to head hoster. Congratulations.
All right. I accept.
We are gonna start with the skit though, if you don't mind, real quick.
Let's do it.
Just anytime you screw up, you can either pause for a second. You know how to do the fucking lines, but let's see. Amanda in the chat immediately starts shouting Deadpool.
Yay!
Oh boy!
Deadpool. And he's a pop on your shelf back there, so that's great.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Now, do you mind if I do a character voice as narrator?
You absolutely should do a character voice when you're narrator.
Okay.
We had a lot of strife between certain members of our group about the idea of being as creative and roleplay as possible. So I knew the moment I picked you, this would be perfect. So please do what you need to.
Okay, you let me know when we're ready.
Right. Let's see. Final vapes and all that before we get started on the road, even though they can't hear me vape. Oh, I thought that was Nick. I was like, Jesus, dude.
Cut it.
Hey, is there a little smoke in here?
A little bit. Somebody got some dry ice, some off camera.
All right. Glenn, the show floor is yours.
Okie dokie. The sweltering heat that comes in with the arrival of the dungeons of the dwarven summer brings misery to those more conditioned for a milder climate. As the sun beats onto the marble stone-laden walls of the casual Master Quest Guild, the desire to adventure wanes as the air conditioners of cold magic become stone-shaped into the walls of the glorious hall. Inside, we see our former paladin Tyler, caring for the sanctuary of quests from the safety of his armchair, who is fiddling with the contraption of many buttons and pointing yet furiously at the newly installed 70-inch 4K TV. No, we cannot explain why there is a television in a Dungeons & Dragons fantasy setting. You're just going to have to work with us. As our paladin searches with passionate vigor, it becomes clearer as time goes on that fortune is not in his favor before he gives a hearty shout to the whole.
Nick, you know magic. Get over here.
From the will... Just like swallow my own.
From the wills of hell. Cough.
From the willow twine double doors comes Nick, the city's favorite elven bard, leaving his room for the first time in days. In the background, you see a mysterious artifact not unlike a TV, a computer with images of three-dimensional objects being manipulated into different animations. Don't ask about this detail either.
Tyler, you know I'm crunching hard in class right now. Semester ends next week. Let's fucking watch SpongeBob or something, or Stranger Things. Just fucking pull up Faku. I'm busy.
Nick, look. They're gone. All gone.
What the hell are you talking about, Tyler?
As Nick's eyes rest on the screen, his face begins to contort from annoyance to pure bewilderment, the fact slowly dawning on him.
Tyler, where are all the live conference calls on YouTube? Don't use this to record the podcast, Tyler.
Could you do that line one more time?
Okay.
Sorry, I you threw me off here.
Where are all the live conference calls? This is YouTube, right? This is what we use to record the podcast.
They're gone, Nick. They took it away.
But why? I understand not updating a platform, but why just take away completely?
I don't know. They never bothered explaining. They abandoned us, Nikhil. Those money-grubbing pieces of shit. How dare they not take our gold?
I can't deal with this right now. I've got Bard college classes. This is way too fucked up, Tyler.
I don't know where we go from here. What else can we do?
The main doors swing open in a wide arc as a gust of warm air invades the hall, sunlight flushing the polished oak floors in a golden hue. Footsteps patterned with the utmost confidence follow as the doors close themselves, keeping the cool air from escaping. As Tyler and Nick turn their eyes on the visitor, they find themselves in the presence of Razif, a moon elf blade singer.
Huh? Oh! Why, hello! You escaping the heat or looking for a quest, perchance?
Both. Where I come from, we do things a little differently. Have you ever heard of Twitch?
Twitch. Yeah, that ninja guy does that thing.
Tyler, I use that thing. You use that thing. Your wife uses that thing. Stop playing dumb. Excuse me, sir. What's your good fuck? Fuck.
What's your name? Fuck.
Tyler, I use that thing. You use that thing. Your wife uses that thing. Stop playing dumb. I hate it.
You can keep the first line. You can just do the second thing.
Yeah.
Lysing, baby.
Fuck. Oh yeah, that's the magic of editing. Okay.
Well,
What's
we
your
can do
name,
one-
fair traveler?
The name is Glenn, or Razith if you prefer. We all use Twitch for our gaming, so why not do the podcast there as well?
That's conveniently smart.
Which never has failed us. Their guidelines have always served the people well.
Well...
Well, dun dun.
and that's when we'd have the intro to the show.
Flinders
Oh,
and
man.
Giles.
I was doing a bunch of line recordings yesterday, so I've been in my own head for the last like 24 hours.
I love editing these things. It's so much fun adding sound effects and all that stuff. Oh, man. If you ever get a chance, I'll happily pull up like one of the skits we did previously. They're pretty comical, especially once we get into it.
Yeah,
But
that was fun.
The Kojima ones are my favorite. Honestly.
Every time we fucking summon Kojima and he's like some kind of ominous demigod voice. All right. Well, Glenn, since you are the host, go ahead and take it away.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
Oh no, we're
It
making
started
a
off
move.
as a joke.
You could refuse.
Oh, I'll let you. Welcome to Casual Master Quest. This is the last episode of the season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
And with that, I'll pass it over to our lovely host Nick and Tyler.
And that was Glenn, our host for all of about 15 seconds. Congratulations. Yes, this is Tyler. This is going to be Casual Master Quest episode number 16, the last in the season 3. Today's going to be July 29th, coming out to you nice and hot. But let us not forget the fun party members of this wild adventure. I have Nick over in one corner.
Hi.
And over in the other corner, we have a guest, Glenn Huston, a.k.a. Razeth. How you doing, buddy?
I'm feeling fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Now, Glenn, people over, at least in our audience, may have not heard of you, unless you're my wife, who's a screaming diehard fan of yours, of course. What do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
I am a man of many hats, but currently my primary source of income and time it goes to Twitch streaming.
Oh, Twitch, huh? That's weird. I guess we're going to be talking a little bit about Twitch today, huh? What were the chances? Oh, man. A lot of people love Twitch. A lot of people don't love Twitch nearly as much. I wonder why that is.
There's a few discrepancies in the way they've done things, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a real fun heck of a time. A one-shot, if you will. Hopefully no one dies in the process. I don't want a total party kill against the evil monster that is Twitch, who are trying to switch to right now. Let's say we probably shouldn't taunt them as we're trying to move on to their platform.
Yeah.
Glenn, what's your week been like, man?
It's been good. Been streaming League with you every once in a while because
yes, you have.
League is fun with friends, but not by yourself.
Absolutely understood.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, holy crap.
Yeah, it's been a good week. It's really hot in California right now, so everyone is just kind of freaking out. I know it's not as hot as it is in Europe right now, but just trying to stay cool, right currently. So.
Okay, so if you're going to make the same argument, it's like, oh my gosh, it's 15 degrees over here in Michigan, but then somebody in Antarctica is like, hey, it's negative 20. You have no right to feel miserable. It's like, yeah, I feel warmer already. Why are you trying to compare yourself to Europe?
Well, because it's like 120 degrees there right now.
Yeah, like the UK is going through a pretty bad heat wave right now.
That sounds actually fucking terrible. Yeah, I retract that statement.
Yeah,
and my dad and my sister are in the UK right now, so it's kind of
Yeah, their houses are meant to trap heat because it's normally cold, So like, I feel that because most houses in LA don't have central AC. Like we're all just like hoping that we can stay cool with our little window units. And if I'm lucky, I keep it at 80 degrees, but that's nothing compared to what they're dealing with. So it's warm, but I understand perspective.
That's modesty in a nutshell right there. Look at you, Glenn.
I try.
And if I'm aware correctly, you are also a podcaster.
Yes. I'm a part of a, I don't know, can I talk about it?
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a part of
plug.
It's a, so my personal account is Razeth, as we talked about before. And I'm a founding member of a podcast called Ready to Roll, and it's ROLE and the number 2, just because we wanted to, make it punny and have different meanings, all that fun jazz. But it is primarily focused on tabletop gaming, whether or not, for the most part, that's 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, but we're obviously open to, doing other things. We've reviewed board games. We've had our own little fireside chats where we talk about different tabletop role-playing game things. We've got some Warhammer stuff that we're hoping to put up on YouTube eventually. A whole slew of things in the future, but currently mostly podcast and a live stream as well. So, and we're
that's awesome. 2. That's awesome. Nick and I here as well are also big fans of Dungeons and Dragons. So him and I have our own campaign. So we like to party and mix it up every now and then. Although Nick is a little newer, so he's been scaring me because playing a bard, you either got skill monkey who has the talking skills and whatnot, and then you got a suck boy. And Nick is in a section of the spectrum that I'm really scared of right now. So I'm really hoping.
Where is that on the
idea,
spectrum?
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just having fun with it right now. I've got a whole, at least from what I like, from my set of like spells and shit. Like I've got an interesting array of things I can do. I can read minds on one hand, but I can also call down a thunderstrike and shatter the earth.
What level are you and what college are you?
I believe we're still level 4 in the campaign, and I'm College of Lore.
Oh, lore bards are the best.
I
Lore
agree.
bards are awesome.
I mean,
Yeah, and-
besides the go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and I know that I've got the Warcaster feat, so
Ooh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. One of the best.
Yeah, we had a hell of a discussion over in our little personal chat about opportunity attacks and the limitations of casting multiple spells in your turn,
Mhm.
and how Warcaster affects that, and reactions and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
had a hell of a conversation. The reason why I put Suckboy on the spectrum is because besides the main quest, his main motivation is to try to join a fellow lady bard.
Oh, so you want to make a band, or you want to like be? A couple?
Yeah. I have no fucking idea what goes in his head.
we'll find out. There's a chance that either I want to travel around with her, form a band, or have her step on my face. I don't know. It could go anywhere. It's really a toss up between the two.
Oh please, Nick. She would never step in your face. She would happily sit.
There it is. I was like,
Yeah.
step, man.
Yeah, honestly,
Everybody
that's
has
brutal.
their own kink, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
she is a half elf of drow descent, and she's quite petite. So maybe even if she did step on your face, I feel like your face could make some kind of constitution check from being caved in. Sure, yes.
Yeah,
we'll
be
see.
all right. It would take a lot to
we'll
crush
tell.
a human skull.
And speaking of Ready to Roll, I actually been listening to your podcast. I think I am up to episode 25 or 26 right now.
Woo-hoo-hoo! I'm so happy. Is the audio quality better now?
It is starting to improve. It's given me
Good.
hope for the future. I did take a quick look at your season 2. Beautiful. It gives me so much excitement to catch up to that. So
yeah,
I've been
we invested hard in that one. We've got like 8 SM58s and a Scarlet 18I20.
Oof.
holy shit, you giant bomb over here. Watch out. You got a
Yeah.
pool table you got to installed into as well. Jeez, what's going on?
Oh my gosh. Well, I do have candles that are controlled by a IR wand that I use at my table. So everything in D&D is very, very involved.
So what you're telling
right?
me is you're an actual wizard.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
planning on having everything in my house once I have kids to be IR controlled. And I'm just going to have a wand because they only program to one remote at a time. But I'm just going to have wands all over the house. And I'm just going to turn lights on and off and like do things to my house. And my kids will believe that I am a magician. They will believe that I'm a wizard until they're old enough to be like, Dad, that wand has batteries in it.
I'm going to say right now, by age 2, you're going to have a coup happen immediately as they try to take that wand.
Yep. Well, they're not going to know how to use it.
We
It
want
takes
the power
very
for
precise
ourselves.
control. We want the Elder Wand. Because I have an Elder Wand that interacts with the park at Universal in my house as well. 'Cause
That's
what I.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can just imagine you looking at your son and saying, "One can't live while the other survives."
Harry. Push my nose.
Well, Mr. Potter. Okay. Anything else that's been going on in your week, man?
Oh, no, my weeks are pretty boring. I sit in my house and I stream games. It's pretty consistent.
Yeah, that sounds horrific. Oh
It's-
gosh.
It's not even that I guess it's not boring. I'm very fortunate to be able to do it and honestly have a wife who can actually financially support the house and is okay with me being an artist, that whole thing.
No, I totally
Right.
understand because unfortunately when it comes to those kinds of passions, there are often times where it doesn't always come with the funds.
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
That was another cool thing. Like with all those expenses I talked about with Ready to Roll, we have actually become to a point with our Patreon and Twitch and everything. We are no longer like taking money from our members. We're finally like starting to save a little bit. And like,
Ooh.
so eventually I might get paid from that too.
Nice.
2 different Twitch channels, which would be cool. But yeah, so we've hit
that'd
one of
be
the
awesome.
benchmarks that we're looking for, which right around a year, we've become financially stable enough that we're not having to take money from our members anymore to try and cover like Podiant and Podbean and Tailwind to schedule posts and all that stuff. So we're really, really happy about that. And showing marketable growth is important, you know?
Yeah, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Nick,
Cool. Anyway, I just
Hi.
was really excited about that.
Nick, I know that you've been having, I would like to say, a moderately busy week.
Yeah, it's been a hand in hand, like an equal share of stressing out about school and also grinding Destiny. Like the amount of schoolwork I've had to do
Both
over the
equally
last
important,
week,
I might add.
it's not the games are not as important as my schoolwork, but then I've like the stress has culminated to the point where I'll do just enough for the day. I'm like, I can't do this anymore, and then I'll just sit and just fucking play Destiny, and then I'll barely get any sleep, and it's gonna be like this for until the end of the week. So not so bad, but that's just really what my week's been like.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
School and other fun stuff. And I myself, it was a fun, interesting week. I got to travel up north for most of my routes as a truck driver, and I was really hopeful that I would get to finally see my first live elk. I get to see a lot of deer in northern Michigan, but never get to see an elk. And there is one particular city in Michigan I passed through on this certain route. It's called Atlanta, and it is known as the elk capital of Michigan.
Okay.
And there is a roaming herd of, I think it was like either 1,000 or 2,000 elk that travel within like 50 miles of that city, where you can see it along the interstate occasionally, and they migrate often along a pattern throughout the season and whatnot. And during this time of year is when they're most prevalent because all the newborns are going along with them and whatnot, so they got to travel slower.
Ooh.
And so I was excited. Now, mind you, I passed through this area at like 11 o'clock at night. So yes, I might see in the dark, and they might just look like giant deer, billboards or whatnot. But if I could see one, that would be great, because I've seen the stuffed versions, but it's just not as satisfying.
Not alive.
Not as
I didn't get to
majestic.
see a single fucking one. I was really upset.
What?
I know. It's what is driving me crazy is the person that covers that route usually, because I'm the relief driver and they're on vacation.
Sees them all the time.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I saw like 3 of them yesterday. You're gonna love them when you see them. And it's like, I got my eyes peeled during the section of the route, just like looking around, like I might as well be like, eyes dilated. I am just like looking for fur. And the only thing I got to see was a skunk, which I ran over. So yeah, that's
Nice.
Good riddance.
Literally. Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, good job, Tyler.
I bet your tires were real stinky.
And lately I've been I have a real big fear of spiders, as some people might know. And being up in northern Michigan, where it's technically forest wilderness, they become more prevalent as time goes on, especially at nighttime. And they've been scaring the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that bad until you go up there and you realize you're not on top of the food chain sometimes if you're caught unawares.
They've been scaring the shit out of Amanda too.
Yes, they have. Did you get to see that one, Greg?
No, I got off right before you guys talked about it, but I watched the video.
I was gonna say I have saved the clip of when Amanda had a spider stand on the wall right in the middle of her ring light. And of course, she's losing their crap, and I'm trying to be the big hero. But the moment it escaped the napkin and ran across my hand, I jumped back so far, screaming all sorts of profanities that both my headset and my glasses flew off. Like, that's how bad I failed my dexterity check. It was
my goodness.
hilarious and horrific.
Oh god. Yeah, I just ran one of the modules from Ghost of Saltmarsh last night. And they have to go like recover some stuff from a ship that's gone adrift and it has valuables on it. Little do they know that there is the whole ship has become kind of like a temple to Lolth, the Spider Queen.
Oh,
and so
geez.
the whole thing
is just a shit ton of spiders.
Shit ton of spiders.
Oh,
Even
God.
if they're not trying to attack them, there's just spiders everywhere. So if you, oh man, I think that I want to run that for you sometime.
Nick too. Nick and I, one of his first big bosses he had to fight was a giant spider as well as a bunch of wolf spiders in a dark forest, and it was kind of creepy. And actually, I had something similar set up for them, but they bypassed the fight in the campaign. So, yeah, don't you love it when they skip a section?
Yeah,
but that's okay. I can make that sucker come back.
Are we talking about like underneath the tree?
Underneath the tree. What tree are we talking about? Oh no, I'm talking about a fight that could have happened and still can happen within the city, but it hasn't been triggered yet.
Okay, now I'm scared.
Yeah, you should be scared. Don't worry.
Because our next session's a big fight.
Yeah, it is. But spiders like to hide in dark, crevices and all that stuff. So you should be fine.
You don't fight the boss; they could still come back later, and possibly stronger.
It's my first time, Tyler. Go easy on me.
Oh yes. Bite the pillow. I'm going in dry. Anyways, yeah, we had a lot of fun and fuck spiders in general. I had a huge problem with spiders and then flies. I talked with Glenn about that. There was this weird like Silent Hill scene happening in my house where flies were everywhere. But thankfully, I think I've gotten rid of almost all of them. So,
yeah, you mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, where they're just sitting on the one side of your house.
Oh yeah, those were midgets. Those were a nightmare. But I do not lie when I say this. In the day that I mentioned this with Glenn, I had killed about 40 to 50 flies by spraying them to death. It was bad. It's like disgusting. It's like, where are they coming from? It's just like they had a VIP party just one day, because I know they didn't all just grow and just come, chilling under
I don't know. I saw a video where these scientists tested how many larvae a fly could place within a matter of seconds.
I've seen that video too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 40 in like 5 seconds. They're live larvae they just place. So they were like, don't let flies land on your food. And I was like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. So what, you think one asshole mama fly just came in and just like
filled up a hot dog?
The party.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, look at this guy. Fuck this guy. And it's like, well, time to curse him.
Time to curse him. Oh shit. Guys, this is in fact a video game podcast.
Woohoo, video games.
Man. Now I usually like to save Glenn or the guest. I like to put him first, but I'm gonna give you a chance to warm up, get ready, because Nick is gonna have at least 20 minutes prepared for you of all the variety of games that he has ready. And I am more than happy. Now, regrettably, I do not have any alcohol on me, so this is going to be a long 20 minutes. But otherwise, go ahead. Take it away, Nico.
I've been playing Destiny 2 and Overwatch. Shocker! I know. Oh my goodness. Those are the only 2 games I've ever played in the last year we've been doing this. Overwatch has a big new update, actually, that's on the PTR, the public test region, where they're enforcing role lock. So now they've enforced 2-2-2, 2 attack, 2 tanks, and 2 support. And it's been interesting because now they'll adjust your comp rating. You have comp ratings for each of the categories now, so you can go into comp and do your placements for support, tank, and DPS separately, and you'll get a separate SR for that, and they'll match you accordingly, which I think is interesting in the long term. I don't know, it's going to be chaotic in the short term when it actually hits live servers. Because you still stand the chance of just getting dog shit DPS players, which me and my friend have been getting.
Of course, yeah, because you're perfect and they are never.
Exactly. No, if I die, it's bullshit, and it's the game. It's never me. I can do no wrong.
Hand over the heart and other hand on the ace of spades.
And then they put out a new tank, Sigma. He's whatever. I haven't played too much of him yet.
What's your main, if I could ask.
When I play support, it's Ana. When I play tanks, I prefer off tanks, so Hog, Diva, Zarya. And then if I ever get the chance to play DPS with my friends, it's either Hanzo or Widow, because I'm that guy. Yeah.
You answered it before I could say it.
Yeah. So yeah, I have like, I at least have flexibility amongst all, like, the entire roster, unlike most other one tricks. But That's Overwatch. And then Destiny 2, I haven't been playing a lot over the last month and a half, 2 months. So there's been a lot of quests that I've missed out on. And so over the last week, I think I grinded out a majority of the quests. And now I'm in like late end game, just trying to get certain achievements and triumphs for. You can get a T-shirt for doing the end of year 2 stuff, and I've gotten
Ooh,
the last 2
nice.
T-shirts, and so I'm
Wait,
trying
they
to get
send
that.
you a physical T-shirt?
Yeah, so it's
They
called
give you
Moments
the
of
right
Triumph.
to buy it.
Yeah, and I can actually go pull out both of them. You do a certain number of tasks, and they'll give you a discount code that brings the price down on the store from 7,777 to like $25, and then you can even get the choice to like get your gamer tag put on it.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bragging rights to do a set of tests in their games. They're very interactive on something like that.
And it's usually not that difficult for like the end of year stuff.
Yeah.
But then I'm trying to work on some titles because you can do certain achievements in the game to get titles, and then you can order a physical badge from the Bungie store if you get the titles and order them before a certain date. I only have the one right now, and I'm trying to unlock at least 1 or 2 others before I have to order them, and that's I think the end of August.
Okay.
Or it could be the end of July, and I'm just screwing myself by not getting the chance to order the one title I have, so I'd have to double check.
No, yeah, I can say you better hurry up. Company funds, man, do what you need to.
But yeah, because they're like cool little emblems about that big, and then you can just stick them on wherever. And I'm like, well, this is something that I was blocked out by RNG, and I managed to beat it and get it, and it was the easiest one, but I like it, so I'm gonna get it and buy the pin. But yeah, that's really games. Once school is done, I have a lot of standing offers for Stardew Valley with my friends, starting a farm with you guys, you, Tyler and Amanda.
The dream team, yes.
Yeah. People are trying to get me into Warframe. I don't give a fuck about Warframe. I really don't. Me and Tyler have talked extensively about this, but fuck MOBAs. I can't play them. If you enjoy them, power to you. I can't touch a MOBA. Just all the MOBAs, just every single one. I can't play any of them. But yeah.
Yeah, I've managed to get Nick to play League of Legends a little bit, and he's like expressed a very minor interest, but he quickly backed out because A, it's a lot to learn, and B, I was making him do ARAMs.
But at least I tried it out.
Yeah,
at
least
give it
I
a
gave
shot.
Yeah. Oh, we did play with Splatoon, Tyler.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
Holy
I
shit.
forgot about that. Yeah.
We got to partake in the final Splatfest.
That was pretty fun, actually. I had, for whatever reason, I don't know why it was different, but I had fun that.
I know exactly why it was different. We got to team up without much problems, except we had to do it every single fucking time.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah, because Nintendo's match online system is stupid.
So, Glenn, have you ever messed with Splatoon before?
No.
The matchmaking system on it, when it comes to having friends joining you, is very weird. They usually put you in a group of 8, 4 versus 4. And so normally you join a game, it starts, looking for people to play. And during that time frame between that and it being filled up, friends have to join in on that. And so if you accidentally get shuffled into a group that's 7 out of 8 and you fill it up, your friends got to sit out and wait and hopefully get into the next one. And it's stupid as shit.
Yeah, that's really goofy that you can't queue up in a group.
Yep.
And it's been a big problem since the first game, but apparently they think this is a great idea. However, during the Splatfest, which is a unique pick one of 2 choices and you guys fight each other over it challenges, you can group up first beforehand, and then you have randos fill in if you are not a full group.
Okay, so then they would queue up as single people. Like, that's great.
Yeah. How
that's
normal multiplayer games have worked since the dawn of time. You
It
find
should
some
be,
friends,
yes.
you party up, and you go into a queue.
Now, unfortunately, that was in fact the very last Splatfest, so there's not going to be ever any more of that until they do some big update or some new game.
That feels super counterintuitive.
It does, absolutely. But we also have Nintendo Online being a real shit show of a setting for how things should be handled using a phone app connected to a device which connects to a headset that is all proprietary. And
it sounds like Discord with extra steps.
Discord has a lot of steps. I do know that some of my friends that are big, they are big proponents of the Nintendo gaming setup. because they make it difficult to not play with people that aren't in a room with you because they want to keep gaming in like as a
Like
a thing you
IRL,
can
like in
do with
person, like
people.
you
Like
physical.
we
Yeah.
all sit here and play this game where we're on a ship that's rocking back and forth and we have to cook things on Overcooked or whatever, and I respect that, but I also feel that the way that the gaming industry is moving, that they're just going to get left by the wayside if they're not careful.
Oh yeah, it's been extremely frustrating. I've talked about it before, but there's been multiple first party games by Nintendo where, me and the friends want to play, but we live far apart, and they give us reduced online play options. For example, Super Mario Party. Me
Oh,
and Brandon really love playing that, but when we play it online together versus local, it only lets us play one of like 6 or 8 mini games that rotates out every a week or two. It doesn't even let us get to play a board. We have no idea why. It doesn't make sense.
yeah. Well,
And Mario Tennis, it gives us this weird, very limited method and whatnot. But Splatoon. The big challenge was order versus chaos.
I like 40K, so I understand that.
And it essentially broke down to one of the because there's 2 DJs of sorts that kind of represent the game. They give the announcements every time you start, and people really like the personalities of one or the other typically. And so instead of order and chaos, typically it was like I support Marina or I support Pearl. These 2 female DJs, and Nick and I kind of agreed beforehand here, chaos, baby, because we love to have some chaos. But of course, if you want to play with your friends, they have to be on the same side as you.
Okay.
And our third person was like, whoops, I picked order the moment it came out. Oh well. So we all joined order because we wanted to play together. And we got smashed, as it turns out. People love chaos. So yeah. Good old Splatoon.
That sounds like a fun game, though.
I absolutely love it. Like when I play it every time, I'm like, why don't I play this more? And then I never play it more. And so it's kind of like Christmas. It's like it comes around once a year, but when it happens, it fucking happens, and I enjoy it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, see, the issue for me is I've gotten so used to playing a shooter of any kind on mouse and keyboard. So now when I have to do that on a controller, I'm like, I can't do this. I've forgotten how to play a shooter on a controller. If I want to play this, I want to win, and if I want to win, I need a mouse and keyboard. So let's make a Zim for the Nintendo Switch.
There you go.
And not to mention,
to look around, I don't use my thumb for anything.
not even that. Splatoon 2 primarily uses motion controls to aim and whatnot. So you move the controller up and down to try to aim at stuff.
No, I turned that off immediately because that shit's stupid.
And
it's like the move.
I love it. Yeah. Nick immediately disabled it.
It sucks to be a Navy SEAL. My arms hurt. After 20 minutes.
And I absolutely love it. I use every chance I get for some reason. So Nick and I are like opposite steps when it comes to that. Len, have you been playing some Stardew Valley?
Yes.
What?
I love Stardew Valley with mods.
With mods now? Mods?
Yeah. I only have one mod on unlimited cabins.
Oh, I thought you were going to say unlimited cash. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a simple small mod.
The game pointless. Yeah. No. I have a friend who did that, and I was like, how does this make the game fun for you? And he was like, I get to do whatever I want. And I was like,
yeah.
And I was like,
creative mode, get everything you want by day 7.
Yeah, that's what it is. Apparently there's a cheat basically where you can put you make your name the code.
Yes, the ID.
Yeah, and so
I remember you doing a play run with this guy in particular, I'm guessing, because like day 2 of spring, you had like 200,000 gold on you.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, no, he's actually he's on my ready to roll team, and we have very different taste in gaming. Very different tastes. So like,
oh boy,
if we like the same game, we play it in a different way. I like Stardew, he likes Stardew, but he wants to play Stardew and just build everything without a problem. And I'm like, I would like to work to be able to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to play the game for 20 hours and get bored because there's nothing else to do,
Sounds like a power gamer, but what do I know?
Yeah, but he also likes games like Anno 1800 and StarCraft. So he has a side that enjoys the challenge. He just doesn't like the farming challenge.
I mean, there's always the other maps, like Nick was trying to convince me to play after I finally, completed it. But no, I'm not gonna.
Oh, that Four Corners update.
Four Corners update. I told myself I'd go back to Stardew Valley if it was for multiplayer only. By myself, single player, I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah, because we gave you a bone and then you just fucking ran a marathon with it. You did more than I've ever done in Stardew Valley. I don't think I've gotten to the end of year 2. I don't think I've gotten that golden clock, and I've put like 120 plus hours into this game, Tyler.
In year 2, you had 120 hours already?
No, I've just started new
Just,
because because I'm like shit. I want to see what this farm looks like. I want to see what this farm looks like, and I just never get to the end. And then Tyler's just like, all right, these motherfuckers finally made me play Stardew Valley. All right, sat down, plays the entire fucking thing, gets the end of year 4. Well, I'm done.
Made $1 billion.
It is exactly what happened. I think it was 138 hours when I got the golden clock. Cumulative total of 33 million, I think, 33.1 or something like that. Yeah, I did a lot. I made a giant farm of nothing but ancient fruit, made the kegs, made a lot of money, got everything you could possibly think of. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. At least with this file. I like the idea of starting new and maybe going a different route because honestly, I don't want to divorce Abigail in my save file because it just doesn't feel right. I don't like the idea of divorcing.
Yeah.
Divorce is not exactly the high list of things I enjoy talking about personally. But
In the game, I took that vow.
yeah.
Sickness and
This
health,
ring of mine is
Tyler,
burning
and
red. And so yes, I have beaten Stardew Valley in the eyes of concerned Dave. In fact, I went as far as to tweet him on Twitter saying, "Hey, thanks, and I hope you have fun doing more stuff."
apparently
Please.
they're about ready to release the console update, the multiplayer update for console finally.
Right, there's been a lot of issues with the green lighting process with
getting it ported over. So,
but
and then he said once that comes out, then the Four Corners thing will come out. So he's not letting the Four Corners come out until the console gets multiplayer. So
it's kind of like Terraria right now, where their main focus is like updating all the stuff for all the consoles. But like, don't you worry, 1.3.6 is coming out soon. You're gonna be so happy. But first, we got to do everything first. Everything else. And it's like, mother.
just let me play.
Who cares about the PlayStation 4? No one's gonna give me 1.3.6. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is. You can beat the game already, so it's like I do like more stuff though. And so yeah, we played Stardew Valley. We also played League of Legends together.
Oh yeah, you made me
Now-
enjoy League of Legends again.
What? Me?
Yeah, people are.
I
rarely
made you.
able to play, and every day, at least like during the week, you're like, hey, let's get a game in. We just get, at very least, we'll play a game, and usually on stream. And I'm like, cool, it's fun, even if I lose. I don't care about losing. I'm playing with my friend. Like, that should be the point of MOBA, is not getting toxic with randos that you don't know.
You should
Like,
be having fun with your friends. And
Exactly right.
I agree with this setting.
What the fuck?
I think
Fun in video games?
I think you and
Are
I
you
would
guys?
have fun in Sea of Thieves. I think you and I would have fun in Sea of
I
Thieves.
love Sea of Thieves so much.
Oh my gosh. Why won't they let me download Sea of Thieves? I'm so mad about that.
Wait, what? Why can't you download Sea of Thieves?
I had a lot of issues reinstalling Sea of Thieves. A lot of issues from the Microsoft Store where it started to download. It's like a 60 gigabyte file. I would have 100 gigabytes of space, so it wasn't a space issue. It would get up to like 100 megabytes, and then it would crap out. And then I would have to try restarting it, but then it's like, oh, but you got extra files that we downloaded. Now we can't do that. Are we supposed to go? It's kind of corrupted. It's like, after a while, I said, fuck it. I won't go fishing. Fuck you.
Oh
Rare.
no!
It was very upsetting. Plus, the last time
Pirate Legend, like I'm like 45 in all of the factions, and then I'm like
Nice.
42 in merchants. But like
Nice.
most of my friends that I play with are already and have been Pirate Legends since like 8 months after the game came out.
Oh
So
man, I'm only in like my 30s or something like that.
Yeah,
I want to go fishing.
Same.
yeah, it's so fun. But I've gotten to do Athena's quests with them.
Nice.
Athena's quests are insane.
They make you level so fast if you're not
Yeah.
already a Pirate Legend. It's it's on fleek. Is that the way you say it?
Oh my
Sure.
gosh.
Yes.
I'm an old man. I can't handle these terms. Kappa Pogs.
Kappa Pogs.
I'm coining that term. It's going to be a big thing one day. Don't you worry.
Mhm.
Big brain here. I don't worry. I don't either. It just sounds. It's like fusing two words together, like flat rolling. When somebody flat throws through a city, I made that word up. In my head, when you flat roll a given adventure in D&D, in my head, it means that the characters have no interest in the situation and they don't even try to roll to engage with it. It's like flatlining, but they flat roll it. And it's just a word I completely made up. It should not make sense.
No, it makes total sense.
It's hipster shit. I'm
rolling
really
dice
disgusted
without
with
any
myself.
enthusiasm. It's like, man, I phoned this in. Meh.
Yeah,
I
roll
gotta deal with the
perception.
merchant.
I don't
Great.
care. Just
Meh.
use my passive.
Bleh.
So League of Legends, I've been playing your support. You've been playing ADC when the game allows it, because sometimes it likes to fuck with us every now
Put
and
me
then.
in jungle. Hey, my secondary is top, and we are, because that's, if you don't already know, friends who are listening, if you are in queue and there's a timer and the timer gets to where the estimated timer is, it will then expand the search past your primary and secondary roles to fill you into a role just to get you into a game. But if you're below that, there's almost no chance it's going to put you in a role that you haven't chosen in primary or secondary. And the other day, me and Tyler were playing. He's like, let's get one game in. And I ended up stuck in jungle. I've never played jungle. And then my team flamed me. I guess they didn't flame me too hard, but they flamed me pretty hard. They're like, you're so bad. I was like, I said I'm not a jungler and I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, so yeah, the game is fun when it gets you in the right roles.
Yeah, the ADC that I played with was also god awful. But hey, I've been learning how to become a what did you call it, Nick? A one-trick pony or something like that, where you start to focus on one particular character.
Just a one-trick pony. Yeah, we just short form is just one trick, where they really have no depth in their yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, being a support character for Glenn here,
Pike God.
I realize that I like to play characters that I like, but I also like murdering. Problem is, though, as a support character, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to be the 305 and the 003 Ash over there. It gets very frustrating for the ADC. So
it's okay if it's Ash, though. Ash is utility anyway. All of her ults, all of her crits slow. She's about slowing, not damaging. So anyway,
Sounds like excuses.
It's totally excuses.
I needed to find a support to where I could fuck stuff up, but still it's okay that I do that.
Yeah.
And so the nice thing about Pike is specifically with his ult, anytime I kill somebody with my ult, it gives anybody who assisted me, it gives them a share of the gold. So even if I do kill somebody, they still get their pay, which, you know, is all that matters in the end, unless you're trying to go for an S rank or something. But honestly, you know, people don't complain. Well,
yeah,
mostly
you can go 16 kill Pike as long as there's a decent amount of people there to help you. They're getting gold as if they killed people as well, so they can scale bigger. So that's Pike's awesome for that.
I also, with Pike in particular, this character, he is, you know, he was introduced as a support character. I was also interested in maybe he's good at mid, maybe he's good at jungle.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw an enemy Pike jungle and he got like destroyed bad. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I learned that lesson real quick.
Yep.
And any other games you've been playing?
I played a little bit of Hand of Fate 2, which is one that you're familiar with, Applehoof from my channel. He got it for me because it was on sale on Steam, and he was like, play this game, it's fun. And I can honestly say that if you're a fan of tabletop, it is the most close video game that like relates to that I've ever played before. In that, like, as you play this game, it's like he pulls out these cards, and I don't want to spoil too much of it, but basically
he put cards on the table and they flip them over. Oh no, I ruined the game. Come on, Glenn.
I know, right? They flip over the cards, and you choose where you want to go, what thing you want to experience next. There's dice games, there's actual combat where you're not just rolling dice to see if you succeed in the arm wrestling tournament. You know, you're actually fighting enemies, but you might do a dice game or a random choice of, cards to see what enemies you're going to go against. So it's all very, very D&D-esque in that your choices dictate what happens next. And sometimes that sucks, and it's because of what you chose to do. So it's a lot of fun. It's a blast. Also, Pokemon Go. I've been playing it a little again. I have missed it.
Let's
Really?
not talk about Pokemon Go.
Let's talk about Pokemon Go.
No.
Team Rocket's back.
Team Rocket's back. Oh man,
Yeah, they
you can
have,
do more than just wear the coats.
Yeah, they have. They've been putting out constant stream of updates for Pokemon Go. I've not mentioned any of them because Tyler, I did not want to bring back Pokemon Go Minute that went on for 20 minutes.
Oh, I won't talk about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Casual Mastercast's return of the Pokemon Go Minute,
Pokemon Go Minute.
where we talk about Pokemon Go. Glenn, tell us about Pokemon Go if you could.
Well, I finally got a Meltan because I wasn't one of the people that had a Switch and could just get him for free.
Oh, you poor thing. You
I would-
get them for free.
I had to find an Aerodactyl, and I've caught 5. But that last one, I had to do one of the missions to get him.
Meltan is not a real Pokemon because he didn't come out in an official core game.
Isn't the Pokemon Company in charge of the content coming out? Kind of like, HBO.
He didn't come out in a core RPG game. Meltan doesn't exist in my head.
Oh no, that's fair. I just really wanted him because I want to.
That's
fill
no,
up
I
my
understand.
Pokédex.
I am a Pokemon master. I've caught them all. I understand.
I completely resonate with you, but I've got my old Game Boy Color with my Pokemon
Right.
Yellow from when I was,
Right.
and I have some of my old Pokemon cards. So the only Pokedex I really cared about filling out was that original 151.
The Gen
Just
1, yeah. Okay.
Give me Gen 1. I'll knock it out. I'll be done with it. And now I just every once in a while I get on and walk around. It's a good excuse to get outside and stretch my legs.
Right.
All the jazz.
Outside. What is that?
What is outside?
I've heard
Nick,
good things about the
question.
graphics. Yeah, Tyler.
Are you the kind of person like back when the original Pokemon came out, you saw Togepi and like that's not a real Pokemon. I couldn't catch that in my Pokédex, and then you had to like retract what you said when Pokemon Gold and Silver came out.
No.
That's right. You're like 2 then. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think my first game in 2003 was the.
Hold up for a second. What
Yeah.
the hell was that?
I have no idea.
Glenn
there-
doesn't know what you're talking about. I have a feeling that who did that come from? We just received like crazy audio feed. You remember, Glenn, when I was telling you like how I kept hearing like weird? Yeah, that. Wait, it's not appearing on anybody's thing.
It's
Is
not.
this
It's not
fucking
on my
YouTube
Audacity.
destroying itself?
I don't know because my Audacity's not hearing anything either.
Okay, so Glenn, can you hear that?
I got nothing.
Is this YouTube like slowly destroying the thing early right now? It's just crashing apart like this beautiful.
Look at
phone.
these poor fools trying to still use this shit.
But Nick, can you hear that?
I heard that, yeah, but it didn't pick up on my Audacity, so I don't know. It's not my mic, at least, thank God.
Yeah, sorry, you talked and also I hear.
Yeah, no, I heard it too. I was just scared, but I'm like, I've gotten so used to dealing with shit like that that's happened over the last 59 episodes. I'm like, I'll just keep talking. Hope for the
I'm gonna have to
best.
edit an earthquake noise or something because that was frightening. It's like another world in Kingdom Hearts turns to darkness.
Area 51 just tried to jump into our live stream.
Oh boy, we're gonna clap some cheeks. That's all I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
As I was saying,
metaphorical cheeks.
Pokemon Yellow was my first Pokemon game in 03. Right? And by then I think we were already at the cusp of Generation 3.
Yep.
And so I had a late start with the Game Boy Advance. Or at least with the Game Boy series. And so for me, so my issue is that Niantic is in charge of Pokemon Go, and we have the core RPG games, but then they're like, oh, dude, let's just put one of these new Pokemon in a game that's a spin-off. And I don't like that. If it was in a core RPG game where the Pokedex had officially expanded, but now we've got the whole Dexit situation, so I don't know, but
So this
I'm
is
just
on
super
par.
picky. Yeah.
So this is on par with, George R. R. Martin allowing the end of Game of Thrones to be revealed before the books were released.
Yeah.
That's the kind of anger you're feeling. I think that makes total sense. you were completely justified. If you're a lifelong fan, why wouldn't you be mad that they're just
Especially
letting
because
random
my only
people do
qualification
stuff?
is that I have every single Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like I have them all on my Pokemon bank stored in the cloud. Hopefully that they never go away. That's my qualification to having strong opinions.
Commercial corporation strikes again. They convince your express OCD need to collect them all. And what better way than to force you to buy wildly different, out of your range expenses, such as new consoles and whatnot. I'm a Legend of Zelda fan, so you know it's like I eat shit.
Oh, you're fucked.
Every single time.
Yeah, I
Oh
haven't owned
man,
a Nintendo console since my translucent orange Nintendo 64.
stuff. There's a transition happening, but I got caught on a nail so big that it just stopped my entire foot as I was trying to walk forward. You haven't owned a Nintendo console since the 64, Glenn?
Yeah, I had Perfect Dark and Pokemon Stadium and GoldenEye, or not a GoldenEye, GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if it helps, my first console was a Switch. Technically.
I'm
I
the
had
old
to spend months trying to get you on the boat. It took a lot of effort. And also, you had a 3DS, okay?
I mean, console. We're talking about like console. A
Handheld
handheld
console.
is different from a console.
Yeah, because I've still got my Game Boy Color, if you want to count that as a newer one.
Yeah,
than
sure.
before.
Oh man, we're about to do a
But
Glenn's
I'm a
Push
Sony
initiative.
guy. I've grown up just with Sony consoles. So we don't have our original PlayStation, but I have my PS2, my PS3, my PlayStation 4 Pro, and my VR all out there in the living room right now. So
Same boat.
Yeah.
For the most part. I don't have the PS2 anymore. I end up giving it off to my parents or something like that. Or the opposite, I don't remember. But yeah. I think I gave my old PlayStation 3 to Brandon. So he could have a bunch of games to play whenever he wanted, because honestly, they were just collecting space at that point.
yeah, I just can't give up my Skyrim file. Too many hours.
Oh, you poor thing.
I'm keeping it for the file. But I still, and the funny thing is, my PS2 is actually not, the one I have is not the one that I owned as a child. It's my childhood friends. Their parents sold their house, and they were just like, go in there and clean it up. Take out whatever you want. We're paying you to help clean it. But also, if there's anything you want in there, just take it. And so, like, I got SSX Tricky, and like, I have two 8 MB memory cards, 8 GB memory cards.
Yep.
So I've got old save files that are from games I played with them for sure, but like it wasn't my console, but it still has, love in it.
So your childhood friends' parents are like, we're moving, take whatever you want. And you were like, oh, poor you, yoink my PS2 now.
Yep.
And then
Well,
you just
and
walked
that was,
away.
I pulled it away honestly so that I could give it to him, because I thought that their kids were unaware of the fact that their stuff was just going to go away. And so I took the PS2, the controllers, the memory cards, and the games that I thought were interesting, because some of the games were just trash old games like
Right.
NCAA 2000, like not things I'm interested in playing now. But I'll
Yeah, I was
totally
thinking
play
like
Final Fantasy
God of
VII.
War or Battlefront or something.
I'll
Just leave that.
I'll play Final Fantasy VII. I'll play some of these games like Dark Souls. But anyway, I got a hold of him not long after that, and I was like, hey, I've got your guys' PS2. I just wanted to save it so that you guys didn't lose it. And he was like, oh, I didn't know we had that thing anymore. And I was like, no, I got it for you or your brothers. And they're like, no, we don't want it. And I was like, cool. I'll keep
Yeah, I was
it.
gonna say how
All right, you did your
Oh,
did
no.
your job. You're like, oh no, what am I
you
gonna
did your
do
watch,
with?
now you get the tower.
Darn.
Yeah.
Also,
Over
random.
on- Go ahead, Glenn.
This is just another tangent. I can shut up.
No,
Oh,
that's
it's
okay.
fine. We welcome all
Oh.
tangents.
I was gonna say Tangent City over here.
Well, one of my big favorite things is just to collect nerdy things that I can display. And so, like, I was at a store and I saw one of those ghosts from Destiny that's like life size, so it's yay big. So I got it for like $8. But then also I was at Target
Nice.
a while back, and they had a life size Pokeball that was metal, and it looked like it held something at some point, but there was no price tag, nothing on it. And so I just brought it to the front, and I was like, I want this Pokeball, but there's no price. And so I resigned to myself that it was $5 or less, I was going to get it. Because it was like a full-size Pokeball that I could store stuff in, and it looked like a great ball, so that's pretty neat. And he's like, no price tag. Let's just charge him $1. And I was like, sold. So I have
Deal.
like a Pokeball out on my shelf. And I was just like, yeah. And
I just imagined
amazing.
the song from Toy Story, "You Got a Friend in Me," the moment he said that. Oh no, wait, that.
Try and hug him.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend. Oh yeah. Anyways, so a couple of games I got to play besides the ones we already talked about. I did try a little bit of streaming yesterday or Friday for the audio listeners. Did you? Yes. I loved that game when I first got it. I now question my judgment.
It's such a weird game.
First off, it is a game that's developed by Xseed, which Xseed is well known for a lot of questionable games. I believe they're also the front runner for Sinran Kagura, aka the ninjas that constantly lose battles by having their clothes be destroyed. You can see where there's a trend going on here. And have you guys ever heard or played Akiba Strip before?
I've
Not until I watched you play. Yeah.
I do enjoy the combat because you get a wide variety of everyday items that you get to use to beat the hell out of people who are supposed to be vampires, and you beat their clothes into submission to where it's weak enough quality that you can just grapple it and then strip them bare, except for their underwear, which you can also strip if you do a combo move. But let's not talk about that.
Wait, you can actually make them fully naked?
If you rip enough clothing off and they're all missing their clothing, like if you rip off top, middle, bottom off in a combo breaker, you could do like this weird dance pose, like Persona style, snap your finger and their underwear explodes and all you see is like giant beams of light everywhere.
Oh my God.
And, you know, they go running off screaming and all that. Or catch fire, depending if they're a
True
vampire or
fan
not.
service fashion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, I can admit I have, you know, some small perverted tendencies, and so I got a kick out of something like that. But at the same time, I started reading the dialogue on the way things were handled, and I started questioning a lot. Like it was the, hi, I am the normal-looking male protagonist hero. I am here to protect you because you are weak, and also you have double X chromosomes, amongst other things. And, you know, it's like, you cannot protect yourself, so I'll be there for you at all times. And it's like, oh, great. Cool. And it gives you an option of choices and dialogues, and two of them are like, perversion, slightly less perverted normal phrase saying, and it's like, oh, okay.
And it has a pretty great rating on Steam too, right?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it for many reasons.
Higher. It's crazy.
I bet the rating is high and the written review is lower. I'm just going to say that for a reason. Like, people are not going to talk about why they enjoy this game. And I had fun with it back in the day, and I said in the stream it because I wanted to do like A to Z kind of thing on Steam games. And so Kiba being in a, like next time I was looking at like Botanicula or Bioshock or something like that for another game to try when I stream next, just to see what happens. And I had fun with it. But there was one game that came out, I think either yesterday or today.
Yeah.
And I was really excited to play. I only got to play about a half hour, 45 minutes, just because my Switch died while downloading it.
Sorry, before you continue, Akiba's Trip is actually getting a 4th game this year.
Yeah, I know.
Just letting you know.
Are you suggesting I should actually go down the series?
I'm just letting you know that there's a 4th game coming out
Akiba
sometime this year, or it's already out. I just, but otherwise, carry on, Tyler. Floor's yours.
I am 2 times star, the superfluous stripper, destroyer of clothing and other fine delicacies.
Yes.
Thank you. Hey, I got a new character sheet to roll up too, apparently. You imagine a grappler fighter whose main goal is to defeat enemies by removing their clothing?
Oh God! It just sounds, Yep. Ugh.
Just sees a troll and he's like, "Yep, I surrendered."
As a DM, I would just be like, "What? No." Or I'd let you do it and then get thrown in jail, and then be like, "Cool, make a new character."
that sounds great. The chaotic neutral fighter. If I'm going to escape, I'll strip myself free of these bars. Why are they so tough? They're not like fabric.
Oh god.
But anyways, Fire Emblem 3 Houses came out in the past couple of days, and I got to play just a little bit of it, and I'd like to say that it is Fire Emblem as hell, and that is a great thing. It's nice being able to play it on a TV instead of on a handheld, or I can do handheld if I want to, because, you know, it's the Switch. It does whatever the fuck it wants. Unless, of course, you get the light version, then you're full. But anyways, I got to play a little bit. The system for the battle mechanics are updated a little bit, where before, if you wanted to plan things out, you didn't want to get somebody attacked by an enemy or whatnot and get them killed. You got to check each of the enemies, see their range and their attack squares and all that stuff. But now, whenever you move a character in the range, it shows an arrow pointing from the enemy saying, hey, I can reach this character if I want to. Don't play them, put them here unless you're ready for them to be attacked. And, just little stuff like that is fantastic. And it's like, your weapons degrade. You can still use them if they're degraded, but it's going to be at a much reduced damage. Oh, the Rangers obviously attack at range, but the accuracy actually decreases the further away it is. And just little things like that are updated to the game. It's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. And you're like, you can do link attacks. You can do extra powerful attacks, but destroy your durability a little bit faster. And, I got a kick out of this, noticing these things here and there. But my favorite thing so far is the voice acting.
Oh.
The voice acting is top notch. As somebody who likes to mess around with this voice every now and then, I start hearing people that, holy shit. Like the first person I heard, and not the first person I heard specifically, was a character named Geralt. It's supposed to be like a father figure, head of the mercenary that you're a part of and whatnot. And I immediately hear Jiraiya from Naruto talking to me. And it's like, no shit, David Lodge. And that's great.
English, yeah?
Yes, for the English version.
Okay, I was like, because I watched all of Naruto in Japanese.
Yeah, I heard people speaking moon runes, Glenn, and I was like,
Erosenye.
Nani? And I'm immediately approached by other characters I start recognizing left and right. I hear Tara Platt, who's also the voice actor for Tamari in Naruto, as amongst many, many other characters such as
Jinxie baby. My God. Harley Quinn, right?
That sounds right. I believe she is also Katarina from League of Legends.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I also know her because of her voice acting as Rain in Tales of Symphonia. I believe that was her.
Is Mercer in there?
What's that?
Matt Mercer in there?
Matt Mercer is not in there. Okay. Other two
Wouldn't
names
surprise
that
me if he was. He gets around everywhere with voice
he
acting, and he's got a luscious voice.
He does. It's Hanu. Yeah, I mean, he's the DM god of our dreams. It's funny, like, he does what I want to do for a living. Like, being a professional voice actor that also happens to play D&D professionally. Like that.
Oh, that would be so nice. Oh, right? So nice.
And the funny thing is, I'm like degrees of 1 degree of separation from like being a part of his friend group. Like being here in LA. Like, I was at Renaissance Fair and I was like, oh my God, it's my buddy. And I like flagged him down and we talked. And I was being a goofball trying to get his attention. Little did I know that the people I was being a goofball behind that were kind of giving me looks were Matt and Marisha and Brian Foster and the whole Critical Role crew just chilling while I'm like a dingus trying to get my buddy's attention.
That's the best way to make connections, by being yourself, though. So eventually, like 2 years down the line, Matt will just see you just walking down an alley. It's dark and rainy. It's like,
I remember those hand postures.
Well, I also used to work at a comic store in Burbank, which is really close to where they do a lot of the recording that he does. And like, he came in a couple times, and so I've met him a few times. But like, also some of my D&D players have worked with other people, including him and Marisha, and like. But yeah, anyway, so voice actors are cool.
Yeah,
absolutely. Voice actors are fucking awesome. So I can't wait to play a little bit more of that and report on that. Maybe that's a game I stream to say fuck the whole A through Z thing because only like one person knows. Well, now technically much more because you guys know.
What would you recommend this game to me?
Would I recommend Fire Emblem Three Houses to you? Now,
To me specifically, knowing what I play.
The problem is, though, I've never really seen you play a turn-based RPG game.
Pokemon, you've not seen me play it, but Pokemon and Octopath are
True,
at least the two most recent ones I can think of.
Like, I felt like if you told me that you enjoyed like Final Fantasy Chronicles or something like that, I would say absolutely jump on this in a heartbeat or something like that. But it's like, I feel like yes, you enjoyed the puzzle and the strategy that they give you. They do give you your, I'm guessing they'll give you your weeaboo waifus that you always seem to find over. Yeah, I gonna say do not disapprove. And I think this is probably going to be, and I say this early, so you know I have the right to change my judgment on this. I think this is probably going to be the best Fire Emblem game that's going to be out to date. So, you know, if you want to take a crack at a Fire Emblem game, this is probably going to be the one. You don't have to worry about, you know, oh, I have no idea what's going on. I should have played another game. No, you don't have to worry about that shit. This isn't Fire Emblem Awakening where they do all this weird crossover shit. It's a separate game, and I think you're going to enjoy it if you give it a shot, for sure.
Let me check if there's a demo.
Probably not. Anyways, so the modular segment that Glenn tried to segue into a little bit, I would say 30 minutes ago, he mentioned his, did you say a pumpkin spice Nintendo 64 or something like that?
That's what it says right here. The pumpkin spice GameCube. What is that?
Yes. You've never heard of the orange GameCube?
No.
There is, in fact, a pumpkin spice orange GameCube that existed, but we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. The modular segment is what limited edition or a region locked console did you have or did you want to have when you were younger?
Oh, I definitely wanted the Pikachu Nintendo 64. I absolutely.
Oh yeah, that blue and yellow Nintendo 64 with the controller and whatnot. The examples I threw was the pumpkin spice GameCube, which you know, most people when they think of the GameCube, they think of the standard purple, the black, maybe the silver, but there was a pumpkin spice orange one that existed out there in the wild.
Taco what?
Have you not heard of the Taco Bell Xbox 360?
No.
There was a big competition that happened way back in the day around like 2006, 2007, where you could win a Taco Bell themed Xbox 360.
Oh, I bet that sells for money.
Oh yeah, because the startup theme for that, instead of instead of that for the 360 sound, it would play the chime of the bell. And so you know, you set up and you hear dung. And people just lost their shit over it. It was hilarious. But yeah, was there any something like that you had that, you know, you realized that it was completely special from other consoles?
Oh, like when I was a kid?
Yeah.
It was the Pikachu 64, but there was also a lot of it when I was a kid was just Pokemon stuff because I was a Pokemon nerd.
Yeah, me too. As I point out all the fucking Pikachus and Raichus and shit sitting on the wall.
Yeah, I see all those. That's pretty amazing. Dude, I still have my Mew promo card from the first movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
It bugs me because I don't know if it was actually true or not, but I had somebody convince me that it was a sticker and you just needed to peel it apart.
Well, here, let me tell you a story that'll make you feel better about that.
Please, absolutely do.
Okay, so when first edition stuff was out, of course, I had an allowance and I mowed lawns, but my younger brother was too young to do too much of that stuff, but he still had an allowance. But he, after seeing me buy a few of the starter kits that came in the themes like the jungle and all that stuff, decided that he wanted to get one. So we went to this place in our local mall called Software Etc., where they sold them, the only place in town that they sold them. Mm-hmm. And my brother got a starter pack and 2 first edition booster packs. And I kid you not, sorry, I paused because I was going to cuss and I don't know how okay that is on the podcast.
You can absolutely swear in here.
You don't fucking swear over here. It's a fucking Christian Minecraft server, all right?
Yeah, you keep the fuck away from any vulgarity, you little shithead.
So
and there goes our guest.
Piece of crap brother. Yeah, I went dirty with that one.
You better wash your mouth with generic hand soap. I felt that. Man.
He got a foil first edition Shadowless Charizard in his first
motherfucker.
Now, at the time, I didn't know that Shadowless Charizard was worth so much. But I knew that it was a foil Charizard, and that's a big deal. So even at the time, it was worth like $100.
Mhm.
And my parents were like, don't bring it to school with you because someone's going to want that and they're just going to take it from you. Because my brother had no will and he was kind of a little wimpy, goofy kid. He also like was technically legally he's legally blind because he has no depth perception, super lazy eye, and he won't wear his glasses. Same story when he was a kid. So like he tripped over his own feet all the time. Anyway, he comes back home that next day just bawling. And we're like, what is wrong? And my mom is like, DJ, did you take that card with you? And he goes, yes, and someone stole it. And I, for years, was so mad at him for taking that card with him to school. Only to find out years later from one of my best friends' younger brothers who was friends with him.
Oh, no.
He didn't bring it to school and lose it. He traded a first edition foil Shadowless Charizard for a plain ass Venusaur and then lied about it.
You said piece of crap. I think that needs an evolution. Get out the leaf stone.
I was get out the leaf stone.
Piece of shit.
Out a few months ago. I am 32. That happened when I was in 4th grade. I was so mad that I texted him. I was like, you didn't lose that Charizard, you piece of shit. And he was just like,
shit, Glenn's evolved.
I evolved!
We don't have enough gym badges to control this.
Either way, I wanted to make you feel better about losing your Mewtwo, or your Mew, because my brother is a piece of crap that sold a now probably over $1,000 card for a Venusaur.
I believe it's only worth like 100 and 150 because I shit you not. I actually have one that's hanging on the wall up above the door frame. I was getting ready to raise the camera to show you, but it's on the actual other side. Like up there, I have special those coins.
You have the Game Boy Pikachu Game Boy.
I have the Pikachu limited edition Game Boy Color. That's actually a shell you can get on Amazon. You can gut out other Game Boy systems and put it in that. And so I got a bunch of color. Oh, wait, you can see it right there. Right
I see it. I see it.
There's the fucking Charizard. I got it on the fucking wall, and it is glorious. Oh, here comes the wife.
She's the wife who's got to help.
She's pushing out my max skill cape from RuneScape. Yeah, don't worry. You don't have to pluck it. They can get a generic idea. They can see that it's up there.
I know what a Charizard looks like.
And so,
he's still one of my favorite Pokemon. So,
what's that?
He's still one of my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah,
I love that dude.
I think it's actually one of Amanda's favorite Pokemon, Charizard.
Yeah, he was really, really well characterized in Detective Pikachu IMO. So
that is true. I like the way he was handled, and then he immediately chickened out once Magikarp evolved.
Yeah, Gyarados would wreck a Charizard.
Yeah,
obviously that type matchup is horrible. You've got water flying, and then you got fire flying. It would just be an easy,
It's the sitting duck.
Let's say Charizard doesn't know thunder. What the hell is he gonna do?
Wait, that's a good question. If you had to make a list of your top 5 non-legendary Gen 1s in no order, that's always a good gauge of people.
But
are you getting ready to do what
Glenn,
kind of
I don't think you
Pokemon
understand. I have a Pokemon team on the top of my head for each generation because I don't use legendaries and I need to research shit before I start playing that generation. So I have a team built up to perfectly balance everything.
Okay, so
5 or 6? Are we doing this? Yeah, I'm gonna say we're gonna fucking do this. Start the Pokemon battle music.
All right. Sorry.
Generation 1, and I'm only gonna stick at Generation 1 because my team consists of Pokemon that had the evolutions in Generation 4, but I'm gonna still keep the Generation 1 evolution. So we've got a Tangela, Charizard, Vaporeon, Electabuzz, Alakazam, and a Dragonite.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So nice and balanced, just straight throughout. I can take care of just about everything.
Yeah, I'm surprised about the Tangela though. That's fun.
Because the Tangrowths are really tanky, but also have really high attack. But that usually goes against my my MO when it comes to the Pokemon teams, which is hit hard and hit fast. I don't give a fuck about HP or defense. I just want to do super fast.
You're aggro red. Nice.
Yeah.
Now, when we're picking our teams and whatnot, are we following Generation 1 rule sets when it comes to battles and whatnot? Or are we talking like it's Generation 7 or 8 or 9, wherever the hell we're at, and we're just using the original 151 minus the legendaries?
For me, honestly, the question is mostly about what your favorites are, not necessarily.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I know that obviously, Nick plays the game a lot, so that's kind of where your mind is at. So you think battle,
competitive nature. That is
yeah.
Nick's
For me, it's
mindset, yes.
more of a favorite thing. I know they may not all be the most effective Pokemon, but some of them are. So
I list them off the top of my head: Raichu, Gengar, Persian, definitely Persian.
Oh.
Yeah. The nice thing about Persian back in the day is he or she, since there was no gender, had an incredibly high speed, which translated into crit chance.
Oh, yeah.
And so a Persian with furry swipes, being a normal type stab move that could crit every single time, did amazing damage. So like it was 15 times 5, so there was a potential for it to crit and do, I think, 150 worth of damage in one turn. Yeah, that's as strong as the hyper beam. So it's like,
yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, YouTube's falling apart again. Did you not hear that, Glenn? Because that's scary as shit.
Yeah, I got nothing.
What is going on? Okay. Anyways, let's see. I named 3 Pokemon? Raichu, Gengar, Persian.
Yeah.
Let's see. I probably would have gone for Arcanine as well because I like Flareon, but Flareon Generation 1 moveset was terrible. Flareon was an attack type, and there was no attack type fire moves. So it's like,
and Arcanine
really
can run
do
at 1,700 miles per hour.
Yep. Yeah.
It is, in fact, the legendary, non-legendary Pokemon.
Go around the Earth in like an hour.
Yeah.
There's no problem.
Logic, right?
And we're talking about favorite Pokemon. Mine's the Infernape.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Love Infernape so much.
Gen 3, right?
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything
then-
after Gen 3 is a little murky for me.
I think everybody that knows me for like more than a week can figure out what my favorite Pokemon is. It's actually kind of a bit of a tie. Some days I like Raichu, especially a Alolan Raichu.
Alolan
I
Raichu.
love him.
Yeah.
So much. But my heart has always been set in stone for one Pokemon and one Pokemon only, and that is Scizor.
Really?
I love Scizor with a passion. Like, I have a custom license plate that shows Scizor for it.
Huh.
Wait, what's
That's
up?
awesome. Oh, I was just saying that Scyther is amazing, but I love the evolution.
Scizor or Mega Scizor?
There's a Mega?
Yeah. Mega
that-
Evolutions introduced in Generation 6.
That's part of the reason why I like Pokemon Go personally, because it introduces me to Pokemon that I was unfamiliar with. I'm getting to learn these things for the first time, and that's really neat, especially as an old-timey fan.
Right.
Yeah, it's a Gen 1er, as we call it.
You know me, I like my Gen 1s. I don't really feel like all them other flute feet Pokemons.
So, like I said, the modular segment.
Yeah.
You want to hear my list real quick? It'll be quick.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm always down.
Cool. Gyarados, because I love making Magikarp into something awesome. Jolteon.
For sure.
Gengar and Alakazam, because they're dope AF. Arcanine is right up there too. And then and this is a weird one, I'm a big fan of Lapras. I
was thinking that too when you're thinking about it's like, man, he doesn't talk about water ice type.
Yeah. Because
maybe Dugong or something like that, or maybe Kabutops.
Yeah, oh man, those like any of the I love the fossil ones too, because they came out. Oh man, the fossil based Pokemon are awesome. Anyway, that's my 6. Absolute favorite is Dragonite. If I could have any Pokemon other than Eevee, because Eevee would be the best pet. Absolutely.
Yes.
Did you see the
Welcome
evolution
to Team Eevee.
Dudes, look. This is my phone case.
Welcome to Team Eevee, Glenn.
Jolteon. Yeah, like Eevee is the bomb. I love the flexibility of Eevee. You could have a whole team of Eevees and win everything. In a world where everything infinitely scales,
Tyler, I win today. I just want to let you know that today I win.
Yeah, you do.
But
Obviously, I'm Team Pikachu over here and all that shit. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with the shit Pikachu, aka Eevee, but just the fact you want all different versions. You want the diarrhea Eevee. You want the Lincoln Log Eevee.
Sorry.
The Flareon Eevee where you ate too much spicy food.
It's just the Taco Bell Eevee is all that is.
I'm sorry.
When it transforms, the sound is.
I'm
the
sorry.
Taco
All
Bell.
I'm hearing are weak stomachs on your end, Tyler.
Yeah, irritable bowel syndrome Eevee. That's Sylveon.
Yes, Eevee. Amazing.
Okay, anyways. Back to the modular segment that we're completely we've sidetracked in 3 different levels of tangents. We went from Pokemon cards to cards stuff on the wall, and then Pokemon, and then the Eve.
Always go back to Pokemon somehow.
Yep, somehow. I personally, I think I obviously I have the limited edition Game Boy. I think I would have loved to have some kind of special edition Nintendo 64 or GameCube. I really would like the idea of having the Pumpkin Spice Orange GameCube personally. You all giggly over there. What's the matter? Is it because I'm like a soccer mom at heart or something?
No, I just thought I thought that pumpkin spice was just a flavor, but then I was like, haha, not Pokemon, pumpkin spice GameCube. We're always coming back to Pokemon. Yeah, pumpkin spice GameCube. It's just really funny to me because that also came out before the massive pumpkin spice trend. You know,
that is true. I believe it came out in like 2002 or 2001.
Like far before its time.
Yeah. Do you guys? I guess my other question is, if we couldn't think of anything in particular, is there some kind of system where you would love to have like a crossover theme on it? Like we got the Destiny PlayStation 4 kind of setup here. Is there any kind of? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I've never been like I'm a collector. I definitely am, but I've never been interested in like collector's editions or whatever. But the one console I ever always wanted but never got because of reasons was the GameCube for Pokemon XD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I remember reading about that online at the time when internet connection was becoming like a standard thing, like globally. And then I learned about Gale of Darkness, and I'm like, shit, that looks cool as fuck. I want it. My mom's like, no. I'm like, fuck. That was the end of the conversation.
That went fairly quickly. I'm trying to think of anything I would want in particular, but honestly, I'm happy with just having a regular console. I notice every single time I try to get something like maybe a controller or whatnot that has like a special theme on it of something I like. It looks great, but then I start to notice that the quality of it comes into question. Like, for example, the wired Switch controller that had Zelda on it. $20.
And the issue is always like with the consoles, like the standard consoles, is you're paying significantly more for the same product. Right, which makes sense with collector's editions and having something special. Like, sure, it makes sense, but for something that's already pretty expensive, like because I have an Xbox and Xbox controllers are generally more expensive than PS4 controllers. Like, why would I want to pay significantly more for something that does the same job and I can get a regular ass controller for like half this price?
And it's a controller, so it's something you're meant to touch all the time. So yeah.
But that's just from a like me point of view where I'm a student still, I don't work, and it's not like I'm poor off or anything, but it's like it's still like I wouldn't spend that much money unless I had like fuck you money, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know what, why'd you buy an island? Because fuck you kind of thing. Right.
Yeah. Well, I will say that I loved my Destiny edition, my PlayStation 4 Destiny, but I
actually had that?
I had it because it did this thing where quality comes into question, where it after about it was like 7 or 8 months, I want to say, it started turning off and on by itself.
Ooh, actually, I had something similar happen with my PlayStation 4, but with the disc tray, it starts spitting out the game randomly. It freaked me the fuck out.
And I like dusted it out. I opened it up and just sprayed it all out because I was like, oh, maybe some dust particles got in something that's activating something on the circuit board.
Right.
I just came to the conclusion that it was haunted, but the art on it was amazing. It was so pretty. But I ended up trading in, and now the upside of it being a collector's edition is that I brought it in saying nothing was wrong, right? And I was just praying. when they turned it on, because they always do they always like do a hard reset on it and check all the stuff. And there was nothing wrong with the game files. Like, I just brought it back because I was like, I don't want a console that does this, and it's GameStop, so I didn't feel bad about screwing them over a little bit.
Tyler, you can't be upset because you just did something similar too.
Like what?
Didn't you go in and say, yeah, it's fine when you traded in for your PS4?
I still have my PlayStation 4 because I refused to do. I got 2 PlayStation 4s, one Pro and one regular right now.
All right, yeah, we talked about this. You didn't want to do that, but I'm like,
I didn't want to do it because I don't want to be a douchebag dickhole.
But fuck GameStop. Oh, dude, I see you bought in your limited edition Destiny 2 console. Oh, dude, 7 cents. All right, thanks, GameStop.
That was the thing, is I got a little more money for it, so I didn't feel super bad. I knew they were going to do a hard reset on all of the information there, so if there was something in the coding, it was going to get fixed. I just didn't have the ability to fix it myself. So, yeah. But I got a little more for it because it was collector's edition, and because I pre-ordered it, for whatever reason, it didn't actually cost more money. It was the same price as a normal one. And I was just like, why wouldn't I get it then?
Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not at that point?
That's like the limited edition D&D books. You seen that? Yo.
No.
I have all of them. And the first one that came out, which was not Xanathar's Guide, Volo's Guide to Monsters. Because they're all limited prints. You just pre-order it at a local gaming store, which is the only place you can get them, as far as I know. And I think that edition it's $50, So it's the same as the normal print. You just have to pre-order at the store. Incentive to go into a physical, locally run gaming store, which is awesome. But I think it's now worth like $250.
Holy shitballs.
Yeah, and it's only like 2 years old. And so that's one of those things. Pro tip: you're gonna buy the book anyway. Might as well get the more expensive cover, or the more valuable cover, Right. I love collector's editions of things like books. And the dream is to eventually be able to buy a regular one and the collector's one, and then just saran wrap that collector's one and throw it off into a closet and be like, I'm not touching it.
I'm a little freakish about that too. Like, admittedly, I got Twilight Princess for the GameCube, Twilight Princess for the Wii, Twilight Princess HD for the Wii U, and same thing with Wind Waker. So it's like I like having all different versions of it. But also, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're reprinting Tyranny of Dragons with an alternate art, and I was like, damn it. Stop giving me good
wallet.
Alternate art.
It's getting lighter.
I'm already a Twitch streamer that doesn't have fuck you money. So so anytime I want to buy something like that, I have to go to my wife and be like, sweetheart, can I have this? And she's usually like, why do you want it? And if you want it in a week, we'll still get it. Because I don't ask.
It's like a tattoo, but it's a limited collector's edition.
Yeah,
made a formal application for getting your allowance a week early.
Yup. Such is the life of a house husband, which is my willing, happy, accepted title. So,
that's awesome. That's so much fucking awesome.
That's my dream. I'll be honest,
bro. It's pretty great.
Just marry rich and just sit at home. Yeah, I'll take care of the kids, dude. I'll fucking there'll be dinner when you get home. I'll fucking rub your feet. Kids will be in bed. We're good to go. Laundry's done, dude. Fucking floors are mopped. I got you.
Also, can I have that limited edition PS4? Oh, great, cool. Thanks.
It'll help me clean the floors a lot better. You know how much cleaner the clothes are going to be with this thing in the background? It's an inspiration boost. Anyways, guys, we should probably touch on the topic of the show for at least a couple of minutes here.
At least. Yeah.
At least. So, a lot of things have been happening with Twitch and its streamers throughout the years. It's become more noticeable, or at least brought out to the media over the past few months, and it's been cultivating worse and worse until a wild event has happened in these past couple of weeks.
Right.
And as people who stream on Twitch, it's kind of, it hits a little closer to home than we'd prefer.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna take a little bit of lead here.
Of course.
I'm mostly for the most part an observer. I do stream every now and then, but I've been involved in several communities, and some of the communities I've been involved with, they've been streaming on Twitch for like 4 or 5 years now. And so a lot of the things that they talk about, some of the content that they put out is about the inconsistencies of Twitch. Twitch has grown so quick as a platform, but they haven't accounted for that growth on staff, like in hiring the right people and the correct amount of people. And so oftentimes they seem to be struggling a lot with keeping up with moderating the site when it comes to questionable streamers breaking the terms of service. But they also are very flippant in the sense that they'll enforce a set of rules on one person but refuse to enforce the same set of rules on another person. So I was the one who actually suggested this topic, considering that we do have a Twitch streamer, like, at least who does it more consistently than the two of us, should come on the show. And I'm like, well, it'd be fun to talk about that, because we've had the most recent controversies with a streamer named Alinity, and her yeeting her cat into space.
Oh my god!
Like, her cat comes across her
This cat empty.
I know.
yeah, walks across her fucking table, and then she just chucks him up behind him. And then after that happened, there was a whole like public social media outrage, and then more clips of her coming up of mistreating her pets, feeding vodka to her cats, which is basically her poisoning her pets.
I believe she was, and there goes another part of fucking YouTube tearing apart its servers again. I do believe that she was gargling vodka and then started spitting it onto her cat's face.
Well, no, she went to give up her cat a kiss, and then she was, dribbling some into the cat's mouth, and you could see a visible like reaction from the cat.
Yeah, and I think part of what
like,
the cat was saying, that's all, they were like, "That's just water," and she was like, "Huh, it's vodka." After that, and I think that's the chat was like, "Nah, you're just drinking water and saying it's vodka." That's a terrible way to prove that it is vodka.
And so, like, I think 2 or 3 years ago, there was a similar streamer who also flung her cat aside, and she received a 2-week ban.
That's right.
But now this hasn't happened with all of this outrage. Now, like, nothing's happened to her.
Is she the most popular female Twitch streamer, or is she like, at least she's top 5?
No, I'd never heard of Alinity, I'll be honest.
Really?
I didn't even know she existed until this.
So many subs. Oh my god.
But like, this shit's been happening, and this is the problem sometimes with like your limelight. When you get your 15 minutes of fame, be it for good or bad, like, that's when it makes them become more popular, right? So when people talk about how Twitch is really for the most part about luck, they're not kidding. Whether it's good or bad things that you do, you're going to get lucky one way or the other if you just keep at it sometimes. So yeah, part of my issues with Twitch as a platform is that they don't have any consistency with the way they enforce their rules. A couple of months ago, they put out a fucking social media blast like, we want you to hold us accountable for the shit that we do. And now that we're trying to hold them accountable, they haven't said anything. People are being banned for questioning... Okay, so people are being banned for harassing Alinity, which I think is fair, because you shouldn't have to harass somebody ever.
No.
But then the people are harassing her because she's not being banned. There's no action. She's not facing any negative consequence, negative to the fucking shit that she's done. And then once you start looking into it, and Tyler's posted a bunch of links here, there's a bunch of shit that goes on that Twitch doesn't do anything about. Right.
And sometimes they overreact, it seems.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They overreact. There was an issue with Tifu last year sometime. Tifu's chat is very, for lack of a better term, toxic. And he's not toxic himself. Right. And this was just a phase of time, and I think it's much better now. But he hosted somebody, and then they went into the chat and they started spamming something that was perceived as racist, and then he got banned for it.
Because he was hosting someone that said something racist?
No, so he hosted somebody, and his chat went over to that channel, and then they said something that was perceived as racist, and then he got banned for it.
That's so dumb.
And he was banned for, I think, he didn't do anything. He's just like, yo guys, I'm done with stream. Have a good day. Hosted somebody, and he got banned because of the actions of his chat. Something similar happened with XQC, but XQC has had a questionable track record of being a little bit wild with the things he says. And like, there've been reports of early on with Twitch's, growth, of some staff giving preferential treatment to others because of status on Twitch, right? So like, if a streamer's going to be pulling the money, most likely nothing's going to happen to them, which is why it was a big surprise when Dr. Disrespect got banned actually for live streaming when they did the whole thing in the bathroom was it at E3?
Yeah.
So it's just a whole bunch of questionable things, but then there's no other platform that allows you for growth sometimes, especially when you're established, which is I think part of the problem too, right? What's Dr. Disrespect gonna do when Twitch has just been fucking him over? But now he's like, I can take my business to another place, but what's the chance I'm gonna get as much visibility?
Right. Yeah. The whole thing feels just like, I hope I never get to a point with my stream that I am that visible. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't want to have my actions micro analyzed, because I'm sure Alinity has plenty of solid content where she's not feeding cats vodka or throwing them. And I don't know if you saw, but she did issue an apology statement.
Right.
And I think that's the proper response from her. Don't respond to the haters. Don't respond to the harassers. Say you're sorry and try and do better, because everybody messes up. Everybody does. But I do wish that they had more consistent, because I don't think the terms of service are out of control. I don't think they are.
No.
But their enforcement of it is just so wavy based on the status of the person. And so for some people like Hassan Piker, who is awesome, or the guy that got a death threat and happened to save the guy's email on stream, like, why are they getting 2-week bans, a month-long bans for things like that? And it's just crickets on her throwing a cat across her room. And she's like, oh, I'm not that strong. It just dropped it behind me. And I'm like, okay, but you still could have broken his leg. That's like dropping you off of a 3-story building. Even if the cat can do it, you shouldn't just do it for the sake of doing it. So like, and PETA got nuts about it too. And they'll push for things. So they get mad. They got mad at people for whale hunting in Black Flag, which is crazy. It's a digital whale. But anyway, like, I absolutely agree. They need to be more consistent on their punishment and the responses that they give publicly about these things. Because if they don't do it for their most popular, most valuable streamers, then nobody else is going to feel like they're going to be held to those terms of service.
Right.
And then they do something way worse and get a year ban. And they're like, what did I do? Alinity threw her cat and got nothing, So it's just a recipe, unless they're willing to be more consistent, for the future to be way more difficult for them. They're making it more difficult for themselves if they don't get consistent. So yeah.
And what do you think they would need to do in order to become more consistent? I mean, the general idea is get a larger staff system to be able to handle it. Maybe a stricter guideline that they can follow by. But
I would think they would have enough money. They're owned by Amazon. Just hire some more people to pay attention to your stuff, or get somebody to code an algorithm to pay attention to these things within the context of what's being said, what's being put in chat. That guy never should have gotten a ban for his people saying something racist. He's not responsible for the words that they say. So whoever reviewed that is just wrong. And so, like, when you have people making decisions like that, of course, I think the person that said it should get a ban.
I guess it comes down, in my head, it's like, when's if you are harvesting a community of people that are just flat out toxic. Yeah. Like, not to name names, but let's say Taylor One, has his stream going on, and just random people. And it's just like this horrific scenery of people, thousands of them, just monsters. And he just lets it all flow out. And he's like, I'm going to host somebody with 10 views. My name's Taylor One. And he just, sets loose, doesn't say a thing, but sets loose all these people that he's allowed and totally said it was okay to be fucking shitbags, and just set them loose on somebody. At that point, it is still up to the responsibility of the person watching and typing to understand the chat rules of that new chat that they're being put on. Well, people are fucking idiots, and do you blame the streamer for allowing them to come to their own mindset that what they do is okay, even if it's really messed up, or is it the responsibility of the individual person? Answer is the person, of course, but it's easier to take care of the source of the problem that's allowing it to happen when they think that the streamer has the bigger responsibility.
Well, and I think these people are visible enough that, like, if something like that happens, then it is Twitch's responsibility to go, hey, not ban the streamer, but say, hey, your community was doing some questionable things, and if it continues, we're going to have a different conversation. Because a lot of those guys and gals are partners. Do you want to lose your partnership over your community shitting on somebody else's channel? Of course I don't. So then the next time you get on stream, you're like, hey guys, calm the fuck down when I send you over to other people's place. Follow their chat rules. And I think Twitch being, once again, more consistent about just talking to these people that have all this influence is going to make the basis of it, because like you said, they have all of this influence and those people are going to do what they say. Like a lot of them are very drone-ish and they're like, yes, I will do what you say, Taylor One, So like they'll stop being dicks. Be a dick in my chat all you want. I don't care. That's what we do here. But as soon as we go raid somebody, support them. We're raiding to lift somebody else up with our own viewership, and that's the purpose of raiding. So it doesn't need to be toxic.
And to expand upon it, honestly, it feels like the way that Twitch handles this, it just seems so obtuse with the whole punishment system to ban somebody for a week or 2 weeks. Yeah. Why not just ban their right to host after telling them, hey, the way you set your community on another stream was bad. We're gonna, withhold that right for a little bit. See if you can talk people out and, get it fixed. And if it happens again after you get cleared through, we're afraid that we're probably going to have to, withhold your right to host or raid somebody and not ban them for 2 fucking weeks for something that they technically don't have any direct control of.
Yeah. I think that's
you guys have touched on it. A big part of that is community management and it being on the streamer's responsibility to like sort of cultivate, sure. In here, we're all fucking stupid pieces of shit. But when we go elsewhere, be nice, don't be an asshole. But then to also answer more on like how Twitch can do better is there are partner managers.
Yeah.
Each partner is assigned to a specific person who's going to be there to help them and assist them through things. Now,
really?
From sources, so I can't, from sources I can't publicly talk about, I know that there are a lot of partner managers who have hundreds of people assigned to them.
Hundreds of partners?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's too much.
Because they just can't handle the load. So if you have a person who's supposed to on a daily basis from 9 to 5 go through all the shit that my 105 partners have done, you're probably going to skimp over some of the details at some point.
Right.
Just to like get your work done.
For the law system here, jeez.
And for them deciding on punishment lengths, it really does seem like a roll of the dice a lot of the times, right?
How is that?
They're just like, it's like, oh, dude, this guy kicked his cat, but this guy spilled some food on the ground. Let's roll the dice. All right, 2 days for this guy. We'll give him a year. And it's kind of like, that's honestly what it feels like. And they're also like, and Glenn, I think you brought this up as well. The terms of service don't seem a dictatorship whatsoever. They seem sensible. They seem reasonable. But there's just no consistency in the enforcement, and I don't know enough of any kind of like how they function to even suggest any sort of claim. But if Twitch doesn't get its act together, Facebook is on its heels, and Mixer is slowly but surely just plodding its way through and rising up through the ranks. We like in any kind of business setting, healthy competition always promotes growth. But don't worry, in midst of all this drama, Twitch has now launched, I think, unique sub gifting badges. Just so you guys were aware of. Yeah. So you can have
the stream only thing that might violate all the copyright rules with actual games.
Yeah. Yep. Jesus, I don't understand these guys sometimes.
Wait, how do unique sub badges work here?
I think it's either you can I think it's for the bits. I think you can because you unlock them in a progression, right? Bit badges or sub gifting badges. I think it's for the bit badges, right? So you get donate 10,000 bits or whatever. You have this badge. You donate 100,000. You have this badge. Now you can choose which badge you have as long as you've unlocked it. Right. It doesn't just automatically force you to have the current like highest or whatever. Yeah. So they released that a couple of days ago amidst all of this drama without saying anything. So a big part of that is also that they need to be a little bit more vocal, a little bit more transparent on how they work. They just don't. And also as Glenn mentioned, the stream sub only streams would violate a lot of the the terms of service of individual games, saying that you cannot monetize gameplay of this game.
Yep. And purely playing it on Twitch doesn't mean that it's breaking that, but as soon as you're forcing them to be people that pay you, you're breaking that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know what the point of that is. I understand sub only chat, because like a lot of those bigger streamers don't want every rando that comes in to just start saying everything they want.
Yeah.
But like, so sub only chats, whatever, and I understand it for the bigger streamers, but sub or like, yes, yeah.
Sub only streams I understand for some things, because we did Casual Master Quest on Twitch once, and I don't know if I told you this, Tyler, but within the first 5 minutes there were like 6 people that came into the chat, because we were in the just chatting category before the podcast and talk shows category was there, and like 6 people came to the chat just spamming racial slurs.
When the fuck did you do this?
This was like months ago. This might have been at the start of the year, but it was in the first 5 minutes, and I banned them.
You say Casual Master Quest did this?
No, I did it on my channel. We talked.
I-
This was ages ago, dude. Like you wouldn't even remember. I'm like, let's try this out, and we're like, okay.
It's so funny to me how the whole world has become just one big bridge, and half of everyone underneath it is a troll. Like, trolls just exist. I don't get it. People literally exist to make other people's lives worse, and that's why, honestly, if you've been in my channel, like, I try to end the stream unless I'm having a terrible day by saying, you know, spread love where you are, make people better for having been around you or interacted with you. We're going to go raid somebody, share love with them, be good to them in their channel, follow them, sub if you want, but support other people. And so I try to keep a general vibe of positivity in my channel, because I've seen this just toxic crap all over Twitch, and I want to try and foster something better. You know what I mean? Because like as much as I love the personalities, because I know Taylor One and Dr. Respect, those guys they truly are
Dr. Charismatic.
Yeah, those are characters. That's not really who they are. But the problem is those characters foster a community that is inherently negative. And so I know they're making a lot of money by being those guys, but I think I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of outweighed by, I don't know. I would never want people to treat others like their communities do. So that's me personally. It's probably why I don't make as much money.
No, I understand, because it's a little different from portraying a character like that on a different form of medium, like film or television, because there's not as much direct involvement with actual people, right? And once you have direct involvement with actual people, and you gather a bunch of them who are being swayed in a similar way, it just kind of snowballs into this huge thing. And it's very easy to jump on like an energetic, fuck this thing kind of train, rather than like, yo, what's up, guys? We're just gonna have a nice, calm day today. That's, in general, that's boring. Right? Yeah, nobody wants to stop by. I'm like, we're just
everybody
listening
loves
to some
mobs.
nice yoga music. Yeah, exactly. It's just the whole like mob mentality that people.
Have you ever seen the demotivators calendars?
No.
They're just like things that are funny to say, but they're always negative. It's like, because they had the motivator calendars. It's like confidence, be you, no matter who you are. You know,
hang in there, can't hang it from a tree.
Yeah. But one of my favorite ones is none of us is as dumb as all of us. And that
I need to think about this
mentality. None of us is as dumb as all of us. Because you think about it, every mob is like, for the most part, you take that person out of the mob and you go, why the hell are you guys breaking businesses? Because you're busting cars and destroying windows because you guys won the NHL Cup or whatever. And they're like, and then if you pull them out of that, they're like, oh man, this is stupid. But in the moment, they're like, fuck yeah, bust that car. You know, like, none of us is as dumb as all of us. So it's important. And I think Twitch can do a lot by trying to get their biggest creators, instead of ignoring the things that they're doing that are against terms of service and are creating toxic communities. And by jumping on it now and communicating with them in a healthy, private way, by like, don't say, oh, we had a conversation with this person. You just send them, have someone call them. You're like, hey, you got to fix this. This is a problem. And if you influence the influencers because you pay their checks, they will listen to you. And then you can start to foster more positive environments for people to exist in. And this stuff will be less common unless, like you said, it could get snowbally and it could get bad really quick unless they do something,
And also enforcing, like, punishments
Yes.
equally regardless of who's who, because I think you mentioned this earlier too. Like the moment somebody, if you have a partner and affiliate and they both do the same like equally bad shit, but then the affiliate gets punished more than the partner does, or the partner doesn't get punished at all, then it's kind of like, well, what's the point, right? And like, yeah, like you would think that people would get punished equally, but in a system where the biggest people are making the money, and they're like, oh yeah, sure, they said this slightly racist thing, but then they pull in so many views to our channels, to like our site.
In 2 sentences, so we know they're all.
The problem is also like witch hunts have now become a thing on social media, and I think there are different kinds of you have forgivable actions and you have cruel actions, or like at least in terms of mistakes, and people do stupid things, and we all do stupid things, and we need to give people a chance to be like, all right, yo, what I did was fucked up, I'm sorry, I'll try and do better, and then have their community hold them accountable to that, rather than be like, yo, this fucking guy says he doesn't like pineapple on pizza. We're gonna fucking kill him. We're gonna fucking hunt him down. We're gonna hunt him down, and we're gonna make his life fucking miserable. You know, that's what he's become too, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I I absolutely agree. I just think of people like celebrities and stuff like that have gone through similar experiences. You know which ones gave a shit about the fact that they were doing something wrong. And that's why I can look at someone like Alinity, and she probably feels like an idiot.
Right.
Because she brought up the vodka thing unprovoked. She was like, that was also stupid. I'm sorry to my community, and I would like to do better in the future. I'm always trying to. And then she posted a video of her singing an Ed Sheeran song to her cat. She's like, I promise this is a positive environment. I love my cat, and I don't want to hurt him. And so that's one of those things where you can see that was 2 stupid things that she did. She didn't intentionally try and hurt her cat. You know, like, just like, get out of the way, Milo. And it was stupid, but she admitted fault, and she was like, I'm going to try and be better. You know, like, it's like Michael Vick or Justin Bieber. As much as you don't like them, they have reformed who they are.
Yeah.
No longer fights dogs and helps support animal shelters. And Justin Bieber doesn't spit on his fans and writes solid music and is less of an idiot, you know? And so I'm hoping that these Twitch streamers can, like, that Twitch can start enforcing it, so that these Twitch streamers like Alinity can actually grow and help their communities be more positive. So
I think that's going to be a very, very well-informed ending to the topic there.
Oh,
I'm very happy that was very well spoken of, especially between the two of you. Honestly, it was almost mesmerizing, because I wanted to put stuff in, but it's like, these guys are putting very solid emotional points in, and I am eating it up. It's like a good episode of Judge Judy I've never seen before. It's like, wow, Judy.
Yeah, like
wisdom shook me.
I might not have any like intention or like ambition to be like a top streamer, but I do want to understand the space, because this is the kind of like medium we're evolving into, like a live content creation interaction, and I do just want to understand it. So I just spend a lot of my time just watching and thinking.
bro, and if you have a passion for that, maybe at some point you go, hey, Twitch, I know what's going on. I want to help you. And they give you a job, and you make
I'll start my own fucking thing, and then I'll just beat Twitch. Yeah, Jeff Bezos has enough money. He doesn't need my money, or at least he doesn't need the money I'm going to bring in.
Yeah.
Glenn, I'm gonna, since you were technically the host for 15 seconds, I'm gonna make you double the amount of time that you're doing the hosting. Can you take care of the next section for me?
Oh yeah, let me see.
Dun dun.
Dum
Dun
dum.
dun dun dun.
Oh yeah, just to wrap things up, right?
Yeah, I'm just the very next section. Like I said, don't hurt yourself.
Game releases.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
can you-
apparently today. Wait, not today. The next game. So in what is that? 6 days? 6 days? Madden NFL 20 comes out with perhaps one of the most what is the word?
I have no idea.
Controversial players since Michael Vick in Madden 98 in Patrick Mahomes.
Wow, what's going on here?
Apparently is just unbeatable. There's clips of him throwing a football 87 yards in the air in that game.
Oh, wow.
And so like they're saying he is the next Michael Vick in video game. He's just he's a free cheat code if you're playing the Chiefs. So
Okay, I was worried you're gonna say like they introduced the option to where during the anthem you can take the option to kneel or something like that. It's like, oh my god, why would they do that?
come on, it's a video game. Let them play football. Yeah,
Dick
Yeah.
lost everything there for a second.
I mean, I don't mind players kneeling, but it's a video game. We don't need to do that. Yeah,
Press F to kneel. Yep.
press F to kneel. But yeah, and you want me to keep going?
You know what? Sure, I'll let you take this next section.
Yeah.
We'll work it out here.
Gaming. This day in gaming, it looks like you guys talk about this on a regular basis. Stardew Valley came out in 2016, which is amazing. Guacamole, the definitive edition, came out in 2015. The Last of Us Remastered, amazing. In 2014. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1.
Yes, and I do want to make a point out here that Stardew Valley came out at a different date, but it came out for the Macs and Linux 3 years ago.
It wasn't on like Windows yet.
I feel like it came out Windows probably like maybe like a month or so ago, like plus 3 years. But
okay.
So this is like a later edition of it that came out for different platforms. But it was Stardew Valley, so I wanted to give it some love.
Yeah. And then we have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on 360 in 2009. Great stuff. Soul Calibur 4. 360 and PS3 in 2008. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour on GameCube. Yes, money. And Diablo 2 Collector's Edition on Mac in 2000, according to MobyGames.com. Awesome.
Thank you.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yep. I figured I'd give it support. Also, Sonic the Hedgehog whore. Oh gosh.
Sonic
That's
the
a
Hedgehog whore?
Sonic the
Yeah.
Hedgehog whore.
I'm gonna need the link, Tyler.
I'm
For
gonna say Jim
research
Carrey's gonna be
purposes.
busy tonight. Eggman's gonna be laying some eggs. Anyway, Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1. It's happy birthday, 6th birthday to it when it came out for the Ouya.
Ouya. What's Ouya?
Oh my gosh!
Don't worry,
know
it doesn't
Ouya-
exist.
I'm gonna say, don't hurt yourself.
Hey, I don't feel like that exists. I don't know what that is.
I don't
It
know if
doesn't
you're
exist
pulling a
anymore.
Wii U on me or what, because
Is that like a hey ya, like Outcast stuff?
it
Ouya?
is a very failed Kickstarter video games console.
Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah, it was meant to design and like bring a console version of phone games and whatnot to the picture, but it kind of collapsed on itself fairly quickly. A spark of hope in
reason I haven't heard
2013. Yep. You can find me on Twitter at 2times Tyler, all letters, one word, 2times Tyler. Nick, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch and Instagram at LR11. But on Twitter, I'm LRD11th. All letters.
Okay. And Glenn, where can we find you?
I'm on Twitch at Razeth, Raezeth, and on Twitter at Glenn Houston, but it looks like Huston. It's a family name. I don't control the spelling.
I
And then
fucked up.
also, you're
There's
fine.
no
You're
O.
fine. It looks like Huston, but people, it's like there's Houston Street down here in Hollywood, so people here know how to say it, so I don't usually have a problem. And then Ready to Roll as well. Ready, the number 2, roll ROLE, because we roll dice and we also role play.
That's smart.
Big brain galaxy explosion.
Yeah, but that's me.
And you can contact us on, if you want to talk to us as the podcast, we are on Twitter at MasterQuestPod. Or you can email us at casualmasterquest@gmail.com. Or if you really, really want to jump into all the groups, we do have a Discord, which you can find almost anywhere. Just, look at one of these sites and go find the link, as well as a Facebook page and Instagram page, where you'll find separate members controlling, behind the scenes. And so you'll get different interesting things. But I think that's going to be it. I think this is going to be the show to wrap up the end of season 3.
Woo!
Yes, we take a break every 20 episodes, just rethink things out, figure everything out. Perfect time considering YouTube is dumping us. It's essentially
Not by choice.
yeah. Not I'm gonna say we were dropped off like kids at the pool and dad's getting the milk, and oh man, rough times. Anyways, enough of the family history. That was Glenn. That was Nick. This is Tyler. This was Casual Master Quest, and we might not see you next week specifically unless we're going to talk about some plans. But don't forget, to never stop the grind. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
We're not telling them we're canceling casual.